guys, welcome to my channel Happy High Tarot. In today's pick a card reading, we will find out how do you feel for your person versus how do they feel for you, and we'll see whether the feelings are mutual or is there any difference in how you guys are perceiving the situation and the connection. So you've got 3 cards to choose from. Group 1, this is your card. It says Ouroboros, Infinity, Eternal, Past Life. Group 2, this is your card, Alchemy, the Philosopher's Stone, Infinity, Destiny, Magic. And Group 3, this is your card, Flower of Life, Inspiration or Dreams. So feel free to pause the video over here, meditate on all your options, pick whichever one calls out to you the most. You'll find the timestamps in the comment section as well as in the description box below. So make your choice and let's get started. Hi Group 1, if you guys chose this card, Ouroboros, first let's take a look at your side. How are you feeling for this person? So the cards that came out for you are Rock Bottom, Yang, Spiritual Union, and from your tarot cards, we have the 3 of Wands in reverse, the 9 of Swords, and the 5 of Swords. All right. You don't seem to be in a very good place, whether it is your head space or your heart space with regards to this connection. I can see that you clearly do have a lot of love in your heart for this person, especially because you've got the 2 of Cups or spiritual union come out in your side of the feelings. It seems as if one of the major reasons why this connection might be disappointing you at the moment is because you had attached a lot of hope to this connection. In fact, it seems like with Yang over here, you used to be, or perhaps still are, almost convinced that this is your divine counterpart, that this is the person that has been made for you or the person that's intended for you. But with the 3 of Wands being in reverse over here, especially with the 9 of Swords, I feel like you've reached that breaking point in this connection now wherein you're this close to giving up. You might be having very frequent meltdowns because of this connection. And it seems like you're just growing tired of all of the waiting. With Rock Bottom over here, definitely whatever has happened either recently or in the recent past between you and this person wasn't all good. In fact, it's quite possible over here with the 5 of Swords that this individual might have done something or said something that you were not expecting at all. It took you by surprise, shock rather. Surprises can be good. And you just did not like it one bit. You felt very cheated, you felt very betrayed. And it seems like there was dual anger over here, double anger. One half of it was being directed towards this person and whatever it is that they might have said or done in this connection. And the other half of it, of the disappointment or the anger, was towards the universe in general. You know, like how we often say, why God, why is this happening to me? Or why does it always happen to me? Somewhat like that. You know, I was absolutely convinced that this is the person for me. Finally, I had found some happiness after a really long time. And why did this person also have to be, turn out to be this particular way? Now, this 5 of Swords, of course, for different people can be different things because this is a general reading. For some of you, maybe this individual brought in a third party in this connection. For others of you, maybe they lied about something and you found out about that lie through someone else. They might have been keeping some information from you. And I distinctly heard leading you on. So it's also possible that through their behavior or just in general how they were being with you, maybe because initially they were very into you and reciprocating everything, perhaps that is where you got the idea from that, you know, this is the one for me because everything is going so well. And then they went ahead and did this particular thing. Somewhere with 9 of Swords, I can see a bit of a push and pull in your energy, Group 1. It's almost as if you try really hard to get yourself out of this connection, to get yourself out of this mental space, emotional space also. You try to come to terms with the fact that maybe this connection is over and that it cannot get any worse than this, and maybe there is no way that this connection can be salvaged. But then there's another part of you over here with yang and spiritual union, which is so fixated on the idea of this being the one, or we'll ultimately find our ways back to each other, that it is causing a lot of disruption within you, in your internal energy. So if of late you've been having bad headaches or a pain in your neck or your shoulders, spine, lower back especially, even when your periods are not about to start, it's most likely because of these reasons. Because all of that worrisome energy is somewhere getting collected in your body here and there, and then it's manifesting itself in the form of the pains that you're experiencing. Throughout all these cards, the one that stands out to me the most, and I am convinced because of that this is the one thing in this connection that might be the reason which is making it very difficult for you to move on if you're trying to, is this deception that happened over here. I don't know whether this individual gave you any closure or not, but it seems like this big question mark of why did you do it is still there. And because you do not have any clear-cut answer to this, that makes it all the more difficult for you to completely detach yourself from this person or from this situation. So presently, I can see that you still, and if you look at the Nine of Swords over here, it all just seems to be a very bungled mess. And I feel like that is where you are right now with regards to this connection. You think that it's a mess. At one point, yes, you did have deep feelings for this person. Some of those might still exist. Somewhere that glimmer of hope that we can get back together might still be there as well. But you definitely are running out of patience. You're tired of all of that waiting. And of course, the more you think about it, the more it frustrates you that why did this person turn out to be the way that they did. All right. Let's take a look at your person's feelings now. So the cards that came out for them are Storm Fields, Never-Ending Story, Recognition and Reward. And from the tarot cards, we have Justice, Three of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. Okay, interestingly, you had the Three of Wands in reverse, and they've got the Three of Pentacles upright. You have Rock Bottom over here, and they have Storm Fields. Let me just start by saying that although you were very clearly deceived by this person, they don't think that they've done anything wrong. All right, because we have Justice present over here in their energy. In fact, with the Page of Wands being present over here and Never-Ending Story, it seems like they are getting a bit frustrated or tired of your questioning. Maybe they don't have any clear-cut answer for it. They just think that what they did was right, but then how do you back that up? Maybe they don't have any solid backing for it. Additionally, with the difference over here in the energy of Two of Cups and Three of Pentacles, I definitely feel like your feelings for them were a lot more than their feelings for you. I know this is a harsh truth, but I'm not here to give you any false hopes. And especially at this time when I can see the kind of energy that you're in. I also feel like with Storm Fields over here and Recognition and Reward, somewhere this individual they don't think that this connection is over, all right? Like in your energy, we had Rock Bottom. So you are almost convinced that nothing can happen any further in this connection, even though, like I said, somewhere that hope might still be present. But this individual over here with Storm Fields, they feel like, like how storms come, but they pass. So likewise, this individual feels like you guys will get back together. But the fact that we have Never-Ending Story over here, I won't ask you to expect them to initiate anything in this regard. Because of this questioning that you are either currently doing or the questions that you might have asked them in the past, they feel like you're a bit immature, that you can't let things go, and that you always circle back to the same thing over and over and over again, and it becomes a tad bit irritating for them. Like I'm hearing, why can't they just let it go? Why do they always keep on asking me the same thing? Why can't they just let it slide? Why are they living in the past? And of course, you might not be convinced by the things that they're saying at all, and it makes sense considering where you're coming from. I mean, you can't just behave a certain way and then not even expect to be confronted about it. It just does not make any sense. But then the thing about your person over here, especially with recognition and reward and justice, is that in their eyes, they haven't done anything wrong. They're absolutely right. So they don't think that they have any reason to give any sort of justification to you, because they don't think they've done anything that deserves or requires a justification or an explanation. If you guys do get back together, they'll be okay with it, but I'm honestly not seeing them being super thrilled about it, because this fear of, what if Group 1 and I get back together, but then after a few days of everything being okay, they again start hounding me because of the past. What will I do then? Where will I go then? So that thought is present very prominently in your person's energy. With recognition and reward being present over here, it seems like right from the get-go, they might have placed themselves a little above you in this connection. You did not put them on a pedestal. They put themselves on a pedestal. I mean, what's interesting is that if tomorrow the power that has created us was to come face to face with your person and ask them, what you did was wrong, they will challenge that power and say, really? Tell me how. That's how confident they seem to be of not being wrong. They might be stalking you a bit these days through mutual friends, if you guys have any. What's interesting to note is that they think that you're immature simply because you're demanding a rational explanation for their behavior, when in fact, with the Page of Wands being present in their energy, they're the one who's immature. They're the one who act rashly without much thought, and then when they do not have a clear justification for it, they're like, they might just make weird faces or roll their eyes and just leave the room. You cannot have a proper confrontation with this person. You cannot have that sort of a conversation with this person, because they're an escapist. They're a child in a man's body or whatever else, but they'll never admit it. They're too proud to admit that they're wrong. In fact, like I said, they don't think they're wrong, so what will they admit? So at the moment, definitely the feelings are not the same. In your energy, there is hurt, there is disappointment. The love too is greater on your side, whereas in your person's feelings, there is a bit of frustration. They are okay with the idea of getting back together with you, but not at the cost of them having to explain themselves, because they think that it really isn't needed. And they also think that with justice over here in Page of Wands, they are better than you. You are below them. You are immature as compared to them. If you just said fuck you, I'll totally get why. Alright, to close your reading, let's take a look at some messages for you from Spirit. Alright. I love this. So the first card that flew out for you was Show the World the Real You, and then we have Your Dreams Need a Practical Plan. I absolutely love how Spirit isn't even bothering to talk to you about this person, because that's how not important they are. Or that's how, I mean, they should not be occupying center stage in your life right now. That's basically what I was trying to say. What you need to focus on right now is authenticity, being your true self. Maybe you had to customize yourself a lot because of this person. You gave up on a lot of your dreams, or you started changing your likes and dislikes just to become a better match with this person. But Spirit is saying you don't need to do that. Be as true to yourself as you can. Do yourself a favor by being authentic. And secondly, with Your Dreams Need a Practical Plan, Focus on yourself right now. Focus on your dreams. Maybe there's a wish, a goal, some aspiration that you have, but because of all of these messy energies that you're in, you haven't really had the time to really sit down or collate your thoughts regarding that, or come up with a plan as to how do you want to go about this whole thing. So take time off from thinking about this person and this connection and focus on yourself, your authenticity, your future, career, money instead. All right. So these are all the messages that I have for you right now, group 1. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here, and hit the bell icon when you do so. You can follow me on Instagram for more tarot readings, and you can message me on Instagram, WhatsApp, or email to book a personal reading with me. You'll find all those details in the pinned comment and description box. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hi, group 2. If you guys chose Alchemy, the Philosopher's Stone, first let's take a look at your feelings. So the cards that came out for you are Strength, Unfinished Symphony, Power, Nine of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the Page of Wands. All right. It does bother you a little bit that this connection is stalled at the moment. Especially because whenever this connection might have started, first of all, this connection started very, very quickly. I mean, it hadn't been long since you both had known each other and you just entered into a connection. I don't think it was forced though. I think everything just happened very organically, and before you knew it, you had fallen for them and you were dating them. And that's absolutely all right. Now, the thing over here though is that you seem to be in a very sad and gloomy energy, although you are doing a great job putting up a show that you're okay, even though you're not. Because this power over here, this straight face rather, is coming after this sadness over here in Unfinished Symphony. It's almost as if you don't want anybody to find out just how much the current state of this connection is troubling you. Whenever anybody asks you about this individual or your connection or what the relationship status is these days, you don't answer them, or you avoid the topic, or you just pretend to get very agitated or upset so that they can leave you alone and never bother you again with these questions in the future. You have made up your mind that you will not be reaching out to this person anytime soon, but you are hoping, on the other hand, that they would reach out to you. There is some aspect in this connection because of which this connection had suffered or gone through a fair share of trouble in the past, and all of that might be happening right now also. So with Strength, Power, and then Nine of Wands, some situation or some third person, maybe not necessarily someone with a romantic interest in your person, could have either try to sabotage this connection between you and your person, or your person just blindly always listened to what this other individual had to say. It's almost as if there was someone else who had the reins of your person in their hand, and your person would mindlessly do whatever it is that they were asked to. And oftentimes it had side effects on your connection with them, but they didn't do anything about it. You might have warned them about that person. You might have asked them to use their own brains. You might have asked them to not listen to that person, but to no effect. It seems over here with Strength and Unfinished Symphony that sometimes you do wonder about reaching out to this individual and getting back together with them. But what stops you midway is the presence of this other energy over here, this other person or situation, which at the moment you feel like is dominating your person. And you have made up your mind that unless and until this third person exits the situation or exits the equation, you will not be entering it. Because with Nine of Wands over here and the Hanged Man, it seems like you've had enough of that struggle, and knowingly you do not want to put yourself through all of that bullshit again. Of course, at the time when you had started dating this person, you might have not been aware about this other individual in your person's life, or maybe you were aware, but you did not know the full extent of the kind of power that this individual has on your person. And they can honestly be anyone, their father, mother, their sibling, their best friend, someone whom they look up to as a guide or a mentor who is misguiding them, can be anyone. The sad part over here is that maybe, and we get to, of course, see your person's energies, but maybe they don't think of this individual as a threat the way that you do. And I feel like the more that you think about that, the more it irritates you, because you know for a fact that whatever went wrong in your relationship was purely because of that other individual, but your partner or ex-partner refuses to see them as the problem. In fact, with Unfinished Symphony over here, it seems like many a times you did try to have this conversation with your person, but like a broken record, they would always stick to that one particular point. That no, we can always work it out, and why are you dragging someone else into this? How are they? What was their fault? Why should they take the blame for something that clearly you and I are screwing up? With Power over here in Page of Wands, another clue for you to confirm who this individual is, there's someone who's been present in your person's life ever since they were a child. All right, so this is either a very old friend of theirs, older sibling, or parents, of course. Sometimes you do think that there is enough love in this connection for it to survive, for it to revive, but then at other times you do get a bit sad and gloomy and disappointed thinking about the overarching presence of this other person. And that is when doubt starts kicking in, that maybe as long as this other individual is there, things will not go back to how they used to be between me and my person. All right, let's take a look at their feelings now. So we have Cleaning House, Regeneration, Patience, the Hermit, Four of Wands, and Ten of Cups. So you've got the Hanged Man and they've got the Hermit. So in that regard, the feelings seem to be pretty identical. You have made up your mind that you're not going to reach out to them. Likewise, they have made up their mind that they're not going to reach out to you. But your reason for not reaching out is that other individual whose energy is absolutely missing from your person's feelings, which just solidifies our theory that they don't think that it is any outsider's fault about whatever went wrong. In fact, with Patience and the Hermit, your person seems to be pretty convinced that if they wait it out, you will reach out to them first, or rather, you'll break first. With Cleaning House and Regeneration, sometimes the thought of moving on from you does occur in this person's mind. Sometimes they do feel like maybe it's best if they can just let this all go and try to focus on their life and move on from you. But then with Regeneration, Four of Wands and Ten of Cups, they're not able to do so. So just like how you still might be having feelings for them, or how you perhaps believe in the power of the feelings that you have for them, likewise, they too have a lot of feelings for you till date. In fact, with Four of Wands over here and Ten of Cups, they sometimes think about settling down with you, marrying you, starting a family with you. For some of you, maybe you guys were engaged or had planned to get married, but then because of this third person, you might have called off the engagement, or you might have decided to dump them because you might have felt that if I marry this person, I'm going to have to deal with this other individual my whole life, and I don't want that. With Regeneration over here, for sure, the person that you're asking about hasn't given up on you just yet. They still have a lot of feelings for you, and they definitely do want to get back together with you. They're just not willing to do anything about it. In fact, if this third person whom you don't like is a family member of your person, in that case, with Four of Wands over here in Patience, your person might have made up their mind that unless and until you accept that other person, or unless and until you're okay with that other person, they will not be making any move towards you, because they want you to respect whoever this third individual is that is related by blood to them. Now, what bothers me over here, and remember how I said that whoever this third person is might have been present in your person's life ever since they were a child or someone that your person really looks up to. With the Hermit being present over here, that does seem to be true, because it feels like everything that your person knows, or most of the things rather, about life and love and relationships and friendships and all those things, that's all secondhand information that they've received from that other person. Your person really, really idolizes that other individual. All right? They look up to them, they pretty much worship them. Anyone who comes up to your person and says that stop talking to that third person, or they're bad and they're not guiding you the right way and you're just too blind to see it, they won't believe it, because that's how immersed they are in their devotion and their love and their respect for this third person. I'm sure you have your reasons as to why you don't like that third person, but with the Four of Wands over here, unless and until you wave that peace flag and you're like, okay, fine, I'm all right with them, I highly doubt that your person will be making any move towards you. Because as much as they want you to be a part of their family, they also don't want to give up on whoever this other person is. They want, with the Ten of Cups over here, they want everyone to stay close. They want everyone to stay connected. They want to bring you into their family, but not at the expense of having to eliminate someone else. So they don't want you to take the place of someone else. They want everyone to coexist peacefully. And like I said, I'm not saying that this third person is genuinely a saint. Maybe they do have their shortcomings, which your person is not able to see. But again, like I said, I don't think you will ever be able to fully convince them about the fact that they're wrong in their perception of that person. So the only similarities that I can see over here are twofold. The feelings that you guys have for each other, the love is mutual, and this decision to not make the first move is also mutual. All right, let's take some closing messages for you from Spirit Group 2. Okay, so we have take time to breathe out and work through your fears. This is interesting. With take time to breathe out, Spirit is appreciating your decision for not reaching out to your person immediately. They're saying that that's absolutely all right. Take as much time as you need to figure out what it is that you want, whether or not you want this person, how do you want to proceed with them. All of that is fine. In fact, maybe of late you've been so immersed with this individual and this connection that perhaps you haven't really been able to spend a lot of time with yourself. And that is another thing that you need to focus on at the moment. And the second message over here with work through your fears, I feel like this is twofold. All right. So for those of you who have decided to move on from this person because you absolutely do not want to get back together with them as long as that other person still exists, Spirit is saying that fine, if it is your decision to move on, that is okay. But make sure that before jumping back into the dating scene again, you've worked through whatever issues might have cropped up for you while you were dating this person, because we don't want any new person to trigger some wounds in you. And then the other message that I'm getting from work through your fears is that, and again, at the risk of, I know how this is going to sound, but with work through your fears, Spirit is saying that maybe you can try to get to know this third person a tad bit better. And if not that, then maybe you think that once you're married to your person will not love you or not respect you, and they'll just only listen to that other person and not really care about you or your feelings. But take a minute, really sit with it and think that, is this really what's going to happen, or is this just a fear that you have? Maybe it won't happen. We've seen with the Ten of Cups over here that your person does care about your happiness also. At the same time, they don't want to make anybody else upset. They just want everyone to stay together and stay happy. So in that case, I think it'll be a good decision if you can discuss this particular point with them in an open manner and then see where it goes. All right, so these are all the messages that I have for you right now, group 2. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here, and hit the bell icon when you do so. You can follow me on Instagram for more tarot readings, and you can message me on Instagram, WhatsApp, or email to get a personal reading from me. You'll find all those details in the pinned comment and description box. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hi, group 3. If you guys chose the Flower of Life, first let's take a look at your feelings. So the cards that came out for you are Magical Map Shifter, Observer, Balance, Ace of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, and Queen of Wands. Alright, first things first, I don't think you're asking about someone whom you have dated or whom you have been in a relationship with. I feel like most of you over here are either asking about a crush, or you're asking about someone who's a very new entrant in your life, and you're just trying to gauge their feelings perhaps, and it's all very, very new right now. And if the person that you had in your mind is someone that you have dated or been involved with, and it is a bit of a situationship or whatever, then you might want to check out the other two piles, because this pile specifically seems to be for someone who is new in your life. In fact, with the energy of Observer over here, this connection I don't think has even taken off properly from the ground just yet. Okay, so let's get into your feelings. With Magical Map Shifter over here and Ace of Pentacles, for most of you, I feel like this individual is the answer to your manifestations. You might have been single for quite a while. You might have been wishing, asking, hoping to get a person who's a good match for you, and that has finally happened. With Balance over here, somewhere you are taking note of the fact that they seem to be pretty compatible with you. Whatever little discussions or conversations or whatever little bit you've hung out with them, you have noticed how you both get along pretty well. But your energy seems to be a bit skittish, if I'm being honest, group 3. With Observer over here and Queen of Wands, you are in a very defensive mode right now. Now, this can be attributed to different things. Maybe you've had your fair share of heartbreaks in the past, or maybe you've constantly just dealt with idiots and one disappointment after the other. So when finally someone who, on papers is ticking all your boxes, you're a bit apprehensive about it. In fact, with Observer over here, I'm hearing this seems too good to be true. So is it actually, are they faking it, or are they actually as good as they seem to be? With Ace of Pentacles over here and Page of Pentacles, you definitely want more of this person in your life. You definitely do want to take this connection forward. You sometimes do slip into this daydream zone wherein you're imagining a future with them, of being with them and just having a good time with them. But then you do bring yourself back to reality almost instantly. You give yourself a reality check and you're like, no, not before I've made sure that this is the one. I cannot risk it, is what I'm hearing. I do feel like with Magical Map Shifter over here, ever since this individual has entered your life, good things have started happening with you, and it's all happening in very good alignment. For example, maybe on the day you met this person was also the day when you gave some job interview and you got selected. In fact, maybe that is where you'd met them. Just an example. But ever since their arrival, good things have been happening in your life. maybe in some reading somewhere, or perhaps intuitively, you'd always felt or you'd always known that when the right person comes in your life, kind of like a domino effect, good things will start happening in your life, one after the other, one after the other. And although all of that is, I mean, that is exactly what's been happening in your life right now, but despite all of that, you're not able to bring yourself to terms with it. It's almost as if it's too good for you to fully believe in it. You want to believe in it. I can see this fence that you're very afraid to jump. You want to, but it seems like you're controlling yourself, you're restraining yourself, because you do not want to go to the other side and then be met with disappointment, because maybe that is something that has happened a lot in the past. So without a doubt, whoever this new person is, they seem to have triggered some old wounds or some old fears of yours. Maybe because with your other crushes or other situationships also, initially everything seemed to be very good, but then once you did start hanging out with those people or dating those people, you must have found out how they truly are, and that would have hurt you or disappointed you. You do not want to go through the same cycle with this individual. It's almost as if with balance over here and observer, you are trying to find faults in them, but so far you haven't been able to. With Page of Pentacles over here and the Queen of Wands, sometimes you tell yourself, see, look, that is what the thing that they did right there, or that particular thing that they said, it just proves my theory. They are very immature. They just pretend that they've got their shit together, but I'm sure they haven't. They're no match to me. I'm more mature than them. Look at them. They seem to be so all over the place. It's like they do not have any focused direction in life. And meanwhile, me, I'm so sure of myself. But the fact of the matter is that maybe it is your mind playing tricks on you. It is your mind trying to keep you protected. So even though there really is nothing wrong with the way that that person is, you are nitpicking a lot. You're trying to find faults. You're trying too hard to read between the lines. You're not taking them for their face value. You are deliberately trying to find something wrong with the face value and trying to look for the place value. In fact, with Magical Map Shifter over here, I'm being told that after a very long time, someone has given you butterflies. Someone has made you go weak in the knees. Someone has made you get excited just at the prospect of seeing them the next day. And while on the one hand, this is all very exciting for you, and like I said, happening after a really long time, it has also triggered some fears. With the Queen of Wands over here, I'm also being told that if in the past this individual has tried to have a conversation with you or tried to get closer to you, you might not have let them do so. You might have given them single-liner replies or just one-word replies, or you might have acted very well that you're not that interested in them, if you know what I mean. So maybe the first time that they asked you out, you might have said no, or you might have come up with some excuse and you might have pulled yourself out of that particular party or meeting or whatever else it was. You really wanted to go, but you just could not bring yourself to do it. But you definitely have started falling for this person, even though some of you might not admit it. All right, let's take a look at your person's feelings now. So we have Wizard of Awareness, to be fair, balance, and then to be fair. We have movement, choices, decisions, Queen of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. And notice how the Queen and King aren't really looking at each other. All right. Okay, first of all, group 3, feelings are definitely mutual. All right, you have started falling for them. They have also started falling for you. In fact, with the King of Cups over here and Queen of Cups, I feel like their feelings for you are a lot stronger than your feelings for them. You have just started falling for them. They're already beyond that stage of just crushing on you. They full on like you now. Like you. Another interesting thing that I can see over here with Magical Map Shifter and Wizard of Awareness is that just as how you seem to be a bit confused, as if you'd been asking for a particular type of person and there they are in front of you, your wish has been granted or your manifestation has finally come to life, and you're finding it a little difficult to absorb all of those energies in. Likewise, with Wizard of Awareness over here, your person too seems to be a bit perplexed by the fact that they've potentially met the most suitable match for them, because we do have the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups over here. So it's almost as if your person had always hoped to find the best person for them. They'd always hoped to find someone whom they could love with all their heart and soul, but maybe they never expected it to happen at this time or in this manner, or they might have never even thought that you would be that person. We also have balance over here and to be fair. So that vibe that you were getting from them, that they seem to be a good match and the chemistry seems to be good and the compatibility seems to be good, your person feels the same way. They also feel like you both are pretty compatible. And I'm hearing finally someone who's on the same page as me, finally someone who's on the same level as me. Maturity wise too, okay, and this is where it gets interesting. You think that they're not as mature as you, but I told you that might just be your mind playing tricks on you, trying to protect you. This individual, on the other hand, thinks that you both are quite alike, even in the maturity level department. They feel like you are just as kind, just as compassionate, just as evolved, and just as emotionally mature as they are. They do want to make a move towards you. Again, see, you have come out in the energy of Page of Pentacles, whereas they are in the Knight of Pentacles' energy. So they're a step ahead of you in every sense, whether it is feelings, whether it is intentions, whether it is actions. Since this is the Knight of Pentacles, you cannot expect any action from them anytime soon, because this is a very slow-moving energy. But I like how the Knight of Pentacles is facing the Queen of Cups, although she's looking the other way. So this is a very focused intention. They do want to come towards you. They do want to make their move towards you. They do want to impress you, date you, and all those things. But perhaps the reason why they might be taking so long to do this, they might be taking their own sweet time to make it very evident that they like you, is because they're not too sure at the moment about how do you feel for them. Now, with the energy of movement, choices, decisions, I'm getting two messages. First, like I said, they're a bit confused about where you stand with them. And I can see why. As we had seen already in your energies, you sometimes try too hard to read between the lines or to try to find faults with this person. But then at the same time, they also make you go weak in the knees and give you butterflies and all that jazz. So maybe that shift in your energy is very evident. For instance, when you're talking to them, initially there's a lot of enthusiasm in you. Your body language seems to be very receptive, very open. But then like a switch just flips and you become very serious or composed and a bit closed off. And they have noticed these switches. So that is why they're not too sure about whether or not you like them. And then the second message that I was getting over here with movement, choices, decisions, and to be fair, is that just like you, this individual too might have been jaded in the past. I can see over here with the King of Cups that this individual, whether a masculine or a feminine, they go all in whenever they fall for someone, all right? They have this ride or die energy about them. But perhaps they have been played by people in the past. Their emotions have been made fun of in the past, or whoever they liked just did not really take them or take the relationship as seriously as they had hoped they would. They too do not want to put themselves through the same thing again. And maybe that is why with movement, choices, decisions on one hand, and then this balance on the other hand, they might be trying to really assess whether you are in fact the right person for them or not. What are the pros, what are the cons, should they even go ahead with this, what will happen if they do approach you, what will happen if they just sit back and don't do anything about it and let it slide. You think that you're the only one who is, testing them. They're not testing you as such. In fact, they're definitely not as strict of a teacher over here who, grades assignments and stuff as you are. But with Wizard of Awareness over here, they definitely do take some mental notes here and there. Not because their intention is to find out whether or not you're a good person or a bad person, but simply because with the Knight of Pentacles over here and the King of Cups, before making any move towards you, they want to be absolutely sure of the fact that they won't fall face first if they do so, that their feelings will be reciprocated. So the feelings are mutual, the interest is mutual. Some inhibitions are there on their end as well, but definitely not as much as they are on your end. Feelings are in fact greater on their end. And somewhere, in fact, with Wizard of Awareness over here, I feel like both of you have manifested each other into your lives. All right, let's take some closing messages for you now, Group 3. Okay, so we have balance, spirituality, and practicality, and we have nothing is yet set in stone. I actually like this message because with nothing is yet set in stone, it seems as if you have the power, or rather you can say that the ball is in your court. There is someone who really likes you, but because of your actions or lack thereof, they're not really sure how to proceed with it. So it now all boils down to you, whether or not you want to be open to this person, give them a chance, make it known through little signals here and there that you'll be okay if they make a move towards you, or maybe at the end of your little assessment you decide that perhaps they're not that good for you after all, and you make it very evident that you don't like them. So that is how this can go either way. With balance, spirituality, and practicality over here, and given the fact that you're in a very, very defensive energy right now, it is quite possible that even though there really aren't any signs or synchronicities indicating that this is a bad person, your mind might trick you into believing that they are. For instance, let's say that you see them and they're wearing a red shirt, and immediately in your mind you'd be like, oh, red flag, red flag, red flag, this is a sign from the universe. Even though it isn't, they know they look good in red, that's why they're wearing red. That's basically what that is. So make sure that while you're trying to figure out whether or not this is a good decision for you, whether or not you should go ahead with it, you keep your head and heart, ego and intuition in sync. In fact, I would say listen more to your intuition. All right, so these are all the messages that I have for you right now, Group 3. If you like this reading, do give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new over here, and hit the bell icon when you do so. You can follow me on Instagram for more tarot readings, and you can message me on Instagram, WhatsApp, or email to book a personal reading with me. You'll find all those details in the pinned comment and description box. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.